Hey guys,
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of the Wanna Be Friends podcast.
Yep.
Here we are.
You
got your coffee? I got my coffee.
Mine's water.
Oh,
Full disclaimer, It's water. I already have had my coffee limit for the day.
Listen, she's way more caffeine conscious than I am. I will drink coffee all day.
Yeah, I used to be like that, but then I can't if I want to sleep at night. I am that old. That's how old I am. Because I haven't talked about how old I am.
Oh,
I am
yes.
that old.
We've reached that age. I apparently that's not a thing for me. I actually have probably a case of narcolepsy. Like I will just fall asleep wherever. So coffee keeps me from doing that.
You just be like a day that you don't have coffee. You're probably just like walking around.
That was literally me yesterday. I didn't have any at church. By the time I got to drink mine at church, it was cold, so I didn't want it. And then I had to go shoot a proposal, and then I went shopping, and then by the time I got home, it was like 6 o'clock. And I'm like,
You didn't.
Do I really need a coffee? And I like ate dinner, and then I was like, no, I'm good. It was like 8:30, I think. I'm like,
You're like falling asleep.
I really probably should drink a coffee.
Did you drink coffee at 8:30?
No, I don't.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
didn't actually. But I like went to bed. Like it was like 10 o'clock. We were out. I was gone. Where usually I can stay up pretty late.
Not me.
No.
Like 10:15 is max for me, and I am falling asleep wherever I'm at. But like through the day, I don't have a problem staying awake. I'm completely fine. I'm
it's
not
like
a napper.
12,
nothing.
1 o'clock every day. I'm like, a nap sounds great right now.
Yeah, that was one of the weird things about you to me is that you could just like fall asleep on demand.
Yeah.
And
Like this chair right now. This is my nap chair.
is your body like receiving messages that
It's like
Sarah,
this
fall
cozy
asleep.
blanket. I am drinking coffee though, so it should get me through the rest of this episode.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But
So
yeah.
for me, I'm like on high alert right now because I've had
Don't ask
my
her to go out for coffee past 4 p.m. because she'll shut you down.
Or I'll ask for decaf and they'll look at me like I'm crazy.
So weird.
Which, Sarah, I drank decaf the other day. Decaf apparently has some sort of caffeine in it.
No, it's just in your mind.
No.
Your mind was like, I'm
No,
drinking
I bet if we
coffee.
Googled it, it would have some level of caffeine in it. My body don't lie. I was not able to
Were you cleaning
sleep.
your house at like 3 a.m.? Like vacuuming?
No, I just had to keep getting up. Like I don't know, I just was restless, and when I don't just fall asleep at that like 10-15 mark, my body doesn't know what to do, so I go into almost panic mode and I'm like, what is happening? What am I dying? What is going on?
I am interested to see like if there's studies about personality types, because we've talked about this, how because my husband Tim is the same way. Like he can't go to sleep very easily. He has to have noise going. Like he'll wake up multiple times at night, and then he's almost like anxiety ridden when like he's not sleeping. He's like, what am I doing? Whereas like the moment my head hits the pillow,
Yeah.
I am out.
Yeah.
Until I'm dragged out of bed the next day.
But any time of day.
But any time of day.
Yeah, so for
if
me-
I lay down and take a nap, I'm gone. If I sit here and watch a movie, I'm gone.
No.
If it's bedtime, as soon as I lay down, there is no like praying for me at night. It's like,
The guy. You just get like the G out. That's it.
like nighttime prayer life for me is not a thing because I just can't.
So for me, no, it's 10:15 and bye unless I've had caffeine. And then if I've had caffeine, it's not bye, and then I just don't know what to do with myself.
Crazy.
It's terrible. I don't know.
There's
It's
something.
weird.
There's probably something off with me, but I just can't relate. Like coffee at 9 p.m. Let's go.
No, if I tried to drink coffee at like 8 o'clock at night, I would be up like all night rearranging the house. I don't know. There would be some level of insanity linked to it. I just like, no way.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's all right. We've already established that. You're on
On a different level.
You're on a different level, but it's okay. You want to introduce today's topic? Since
Oh,
we just kind
yes.
of like sidelined that one.
Yeah, rabbit hole. So we are talking about being professional jugglers today, like how we
Not like the clowns, but
speak for yourself. No, how we as just, I don't know, I guess the stage of life that we're in, we are just doing all the things and trying to navigate how we can be a mom, be a wife, be holding this position and doing this freelance stuff and homeschooling, because we're not just moms, we both homeschool our children, so they're educators also, and it's a lot. And then we still, you know, are trying to just be all the other roles in life that go with those things, and we know that
clean our homes.
Yeah. Good luck with that,
because we're not paying anyone yet.
No,
we have not made it that far in life.
But yeah, so it's a lot, and we know that we are not alone in that. And I think that a lot of the time that just comes with becoming parents, when you're not just responsible for your own self anymore. But that we have other people and other people's schedules that we have to kind of live by, but we're also trying to make money to provide for our family. And
because we live in a pretty unique time, I would say, where it's really not possible to live off of one income. No matter how hard we have tried to do that. You know, it takes everyone in the house to really help provide for the family. And I know that's something that, you know, we've talked about, like, it'd be our dream just to stay home and homeschool our kids.
Oh my gosh.
And we're so thankful that we have the opportunity to do that. Yeah. But it comes at the cost where we are working at all hours of the night, basically, and weekends.
You are. I'm not past 10:50.
That's true.
Out of office.
I'm in office from like 10 p.m. to about 3 a.m. every night. And so we just have to make those sacrifices to make the homeschooling work. But we know that a lot of, you know, women, especially at church, like they do have to go to work. They don't have the option to stay home and homeschool kids. And like, they're teachers, there's nurses, there's, you know, all these incredible women and stuff. So we're not saying that, like, homeschool is the only way. It's just, this is just the option that we have. And but it also comes with the price of trying to fit and work wherever.
Yeah. And that was one of the things, because I did used to work a job like that where I did have to be there.
I almost forget about that.
Yeah, no, I don't. And like, I felt like it was such a struggle then to try and do the things that I was doing. But now I realize how, I don't want to say more of a struggle this is, but like, now I have my kids all the time.
Yeah.
And I have to try and do the work also. And you know, like,
it's just different.
It's like, different. Yeah. And so that is, I think I just had this idea that, like, oh, I'll be with my kids all the time. And then when I don't need to be with them, I will be working. No, it all goes together.
No, because it's all together.
Yeah.
Like, when you leave your home and you go to a place of work, like, your mind is you're required to just think about that work. Like, you're not on mom mode. You're not trying to make snacks in between meetings. You're not trying to change diapers in between phone calls. Like, you're there at work. And as much as, you know, women who are at work are like, I miss my kids, but like, your mind is able just to be focused on your work, and then you come home, and then it's with kids, it's with homework, it's making dinner or whatever. Yeah. Whereas, like, being home, like, we're trying to work, but we're trying to get this kid to work on, you know, their language arts, and this kid trying to do piano lessons, and then we got to zoom off to, you know, soccer or basketball, and then we got to be at gymnastics at 7, and then we got to get dinner, but then, you know,
but the work still has to be done, like the
dishes still need to be done to be able to make dinner. Like, it's just like constant, like, multitasking all the time. And I know women are better at multitasking, but I don't know if we were intended to have our hands in all the things all the time.
No.
You know?
Yeah, it's very overwhelming, and I mean, we can laugh about it and everything, but it's very hard.
It is.
And I know that we are not the only ones who feel that way, but like, I mean, I don't just sit, like, sitting here. Oh my gosh, this is a break.
This is why we're doing podcasts, so we can sit and send the kids elsewhere.
I don't know how to sit down anymore. And this is one of the things that I've talked to my husband a lot lately, is that, like, for this year, like, I really need to try and learn how to rest again, because back when I had the other type of job, it was a very consistent schedule, which I am very schedule oriented. That helped me. But now I just feel like I'm drowning all the time, because there is no schedule. It's just crazy.
So you like checklists and like checking off things to do? Is
strangely,
that more?
I guess, I don't know. Mostly I like a schedule. Like I just want to know a week ahead of time at least. Like I want to know what my week looks like. I want to know what my day looks like. And so, especially with real estate, that is all over the place. But like even during my like not busy real estate times, like I just don't have a consistent schedule with the lifestyle that we currently have. But at the old type of job I had, I did, and that was so nice for me because I knew every day when I got home from work I would cook dinner, we would do baths, we would get anything like that done, and then we got to sit down, and I sat down by like 7:30 every night. And so I had like a couple hours to sit and to be part of my family and everything before I would
built into your schedule.
Yes. Yeah. But now, like since then, it's been a few years. March will be 3 years then since I've
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But March will be 3 years since I've had that type of a job, and I have gotten to a point where I do not sit at all. I finally sit down after I've gotten my kids to bed. Around, I don't know, probably 9:15. And we all know, like I've talked about earlier, I am asleep by 10:15.
Right.
So like there's just no sitting, and I wake up at between 5:30 and 6 every day. I'm an early bird. And I do sit down and do my Bible study at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, which you do have a still quiet morning. Yeah.
For until about 7:30. 7:30 is usually when I try and get up and get moving, unless I'm having to try and be at like the clinic or something, then I am up moving earlier than that. So I do have that period of time in the morning, but like once I get moving for the day, I'm going from like 7:30 to almost 9:30 at night without sitting down, unless I'm like sitting down to work on something.
Right.
And that's exhausting.
Like, where's my break?
Yes.
And I think that's something that's unique about homeschool moms or just being home all the time. Like we have to rule our schedule. And I think that's something that's hard for me, where I'm very just fluid. I'm very like, just, I'll go with whatever. And I think that's why our lifestyle works, because ministry is very unpredictable. You know, homeschooling can be very fluid. My freelance work, I work when I want to work. So like, I just like, we make it work, but also I am not very disciplined in making a schedule. So if we wake up at 9 a.m. and start school at 10 a.m., I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But then I'm regretting it later in the evening, where I'm like, why are we still doing school?
We've been working on school all day.
We work on school all day. I have this deadline I need to get, to my clients by 9 p.m. and I have no time from here. And I'm like frazzled and stuff. So like, setting that schedule and someone's not setting it for me, I think it's been a struggle for me.
Yeah. And I think the deeper into this that I do get, like, it could easily become like that. But I mean, still now I know I don't have a set schedule, but I have my days scheduled out. I consistently get up at the same time. And so like there are things in my day that I need to fit in. And if I don't follow like my kind of plan or outline for the day, then I'm not going to get to go to the gym, which is really important to me. Or I'm not going to get to try and be home to cook dinner at this time, because that's also, very important to me. And,
right.
So these things won't happen if I don't follow this, in my mind, rigid schedule. And if I have to break from that schedule, I almost don't does not compute.
Does it break you?
Does not compute. Does not compute.
Cannot operate.
It is so
System
hard
error.
for me. System error. System error. I'm just going to start saying that because I just am so inclined to need that. I just need that. And then there are some people who don't like to operate like that. Matt's sometimes like, we should just do what. And
See, me and Matt are just
did we
the
not
same person.
Did we not plan for it? If we didn't plan for it, we're not doing it.
Right. I'm like, oh, we're not home to make dinner tonight. Okay. We'll just bring some leftovers, or the kids will just eat some pretzels and pancakes. So that's their favorite thing to make. They do. They make their own pancakes, and they make this whole crazy concoction, and we just kind of or whatever. Okay, this is what we're doing today. I don't know. Like I've learned not to get upset when certain things don't happen that like I want. But also, I'm not like in the gym all the time. Like
I'm not in the gym all the time.
You
either.
are?
No, I try to go daily. That's not in the gym all the time.
Listen, my treadmill downstairs is probably it came up my time hop the other day. The last time I was on my treadmill was like 2 years ago.
The last time you were on it. Oh
yeah, but no, I've been trying to be more at peace of being just like, okay, this is the season of life that we're in. Like, we are called to homeschool our kids. This is something we want for our kids. You know, it's been such a blessing that my photography and graphic design freelance stuff has really taken off, and I've been given some really cool opportunities, and I just need to learn to balance and manage that better. Our church is growing, and we're, you know, doing some really exciting things this year. We have some really big goals that we're working towards. So it's like, okay, now we gotta, you know, rearrange, you know, how we work and how we function and how our teams work and stuff there. So it's just like constantly a balancing act. And I think I can get really frustrated that it's not working in the time that I think it should be working, or it's interrupting certain things. But it's like, okay, God, how do we take the opportunities and what's going on in our life right now, and how do we manage it the best? Like, how do we manage it well? And sometimes that looks like saying no to things. Like, that means taking things out of our schedule,
which we recently did do.
Right. So I think we talked about this last episode that like we're cutting things out. We're talking about co-op. We went from doing co-op together 2 times a week to now we're doing it 1 time a week because, you know, our jobs were just super demanding at that in this season of life. And then all of a sudden we're like, you know what? We should start a podcast. Let's just introduce something else. But it's like, okay, if this is something that, you know, God has placed in our hearts that we want to do, then God must have a plan for it. And we need to learn to eliminate the things out of our lives that's not what God has for us right now. And sometimes those are harder things to really kind of identify, you know, because I feel like everything I do is for the Lord. Like, I'm at church all the time, or I'm working to provide for my family, or I'm homeschooling my kids.
Right.
And then the little bit of time I have, I hang out with my friends, you know? So it's like, okay, God, what do you want me to eliminate? Because I don't know. And we're in 21 days of prayer right now.
I was about to bring that up.
At the time of this recording, we're in 21 days of praying and fasting. And so I was just really kind of seeking the Lord's heart about, okay, God, what is it that, you know, what do you want me to fast? Like, I know everyone has their opinions about fasting, and we won't get into the theological aspect of that right now, but, social media, like TikTok and stuff, is something that I do throughout the day where I'm just like mindlessly scrolling in those like little pockets of time. It's not like I'm sitting for hours doing it. It's just
5 minutes here.
Yeah, 5 minutes here. Or, you know, when I'm waiting for dinner to cook, or I'm waiting for the kids to hurry up with their school, I'm scrolling. Instead of you being, you know, intentional with those little moments, I'm just scrolling. And so just eliminating that out of my daily life these past, we're 2 weeks. 1 week?
No.
Or 1 week?
Yeah, 1 week.
Oh, dang it.
8 days.
But like eliminating that has really shown me the areas in my life that I can be more intentional in. And I'm like, okay, so like sometimes it just means eliminating small things that amount up to big things. It's just like going to the gas station all the time and buying a candy bar and a Coke or something. If you go every single day, it's only a few bucks, right? When you total that up at the end of the month,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of money, right? So, like,
I can't relate to the gas station, but I can relate to Kava.
Well,
the coffee shop.
Yeah, the coffee shop. Yeah, for sure.
It's like a latte here, a scone there.
Right.
Breakfast sandwich.
Oh.
Sandwich. Notice I said sandwich because I was going to say Sammy because that's what the coffee house calls
If you're not local to Wilmington, you need to come visit just to experience Kava House. But you want to be friends? Let's go.
Yeah. We will take you.
We'll meet you there.
But no, so like you saying, like the comment that you made about just almost feeling like, what do you even fast at this point? Like, that's another conversation Matt and I had when we were kind of trying to decide, and I just started praying about it because I don't really feel like there's anything. Like, one of the comments Matt made was like, I'm already like, I feel like everything that I'm doing is either I have to do it or or I'm doing it to take care of myself, like going to the gym or
right.
whatever. So like
I'm not gonna fast the gym,
right?
It's good for my body.
Unless you're Nora, I do have to. Since we're talking about it, I have to tell this story about my daughter. My 6-year-old. It was too good.
Nora,
she's like on it, man. But I was talking to them about fasting and what I was thinking that I would fast because I started praying about it.
Yeah.
And TV was what came to mind. I don't have the TV on through the day, but after the girls go to bed, from that, like, I don't know, I watch like an episode of a sitcom, maybe 2 if I can make it that long. And then we go to bed. But that was what I felt like, because I feel like that's the only extra really that I have. But so I was telling them that I was going to be fasting TV for the next 21 days and asking like what they thought they would like to fast, if they would like to, and if they wanted to join in, and explaining the purpose behind it. And so I just said, so Nora, what do you think that you would like to fast? And straight, I mean, like, so quick. There was no she did not miss a beat. She was like, school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my kids try the same thing.
I just look at her like, how are you that quick-witted? Like, you're 6. You gotta stop.
She's like, something, that takes up a lot of my time. She's in kindergarten, right?
Yeah, it's kindergarten and homeschooled, by the way. So it's like an hour a day, guys. Like, and it's not even miserable.
Right.
I do it with her. Color. I'm part of it. I know that it's not bad. Way to roast your mom, child.
I know. She's like, I do not want to spend that hour with you. Kids, man, they just get you.
Yeah. So anyway, I do get like the what you mean, like we have to cut from areas, and where can we be more intentional? And I'm sure that most of us have a place. I know that a lot of moms are like really maxed out. They are using their time as wisely as they can for the most part, and the moments that they get, they're just their like mental health break where they have to have that, or like they're gonna like Hulk smash everything. That's me. I warn my kids that I might go Hulk smash.
You're like, we must do it, Mom.
Listen, I think I threatened it yesterday. I was like, if I find a crumb, because we spent all day cleaning, I'm like, if I find a crumb, even one crumb, I will Hulk smash everything.
Literally what I just told my kids they're downstairs in the basement, and they're not allowed to eat down there, but they're eating lunch down there because we're recording up here. I'm like, if I find one French fry, if I find anything down there,
look at us.
Not gonna be a great day.
That's how you parent, everyone.
Yes, take your parenting advice from us,
straight from us, from the source.
Yeah, so like we know everyone is managing things, and most of us are trying to manage as well as possible, and sometimes it's just not possible to eliminate anything else because it's just what you need in that season of our life. So I think then we just need to learn to give ourselves grace. Yeah, and I think our friends and family are more apt to give us that grace than what we were willing to give ourselves sometimes.
For sure.
I know I tell my family multiple times, I'm sorry I have not got back to your texts. I'm sorry I missed your FaceTime call. I'm sorry I haven't replied to that email. I'm just overwhelmed. And they're like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Like, we'll catch up some other time. So I think sometimes we just need to allow ourselves to have that grace that people give us. And, if the things in our lives are, beneficial, if we're taking care of our kids, we're feeding our souls, we're taking care of our bodies, we're spending time with the Lord, and you're like, I don't have any more time, then like, that's okay. Like, don't beat yourself up. This is just a season of your life. And we all know as parents, or just, and really any season of your life, that there's such short, sweet moments, and you'll move on to the next phase. If you don't have kids right now, like you know that you're going to enjoy this season of your life, because there will be a time where you everything's chaotic. You're like, oh my gosh, I miss that time I used to have with just me and my husband. Or you are empty nesters. You're like, you look back on the times that your kids were home, and you're like, oh, I miss the craziness, and now your life is a little slower, a little more relaxed and stuff. So it's just enjoying this season, no matter how chaotic it is. And I think we need to get ready to wrap up. But I think if we're going to leave you guys with anything, it's just to enjoy the season of life that you're in. Know that you're not alone in juggling all the things, because we are both juggling all the things. And just to give yourself grace today, and in this, next 6 months or this next year in 2024, really just look for those God moments, look for the nudgings that God is putting in your heart, but also have those hard conversations with your family. Or, if you're single, you're listening to this, you're like, okay, what can I eliminate out of my schedule so that I can spend more time doing the things that God has for me, whether it's serving at your church or just spending time in his word and just having those still moments. Like, really just kind of take the time, maybe today at the end of this episode to do kind of a check-in, with your life. And
inventory on where you're at.
That's a good,
what you've got going on. And if there's places that you feel you can cut, then take the axe to it. Don't feel bad about it. Just pour yourself out where you should be poured out, and fill yourself up where you should be filled up. And amen.
Hey, that's a good place to end it. Hey, we'll see you guys here next time. Thanks for joining in.